This looks like an order to show cause for contempt on custody and parenting time issue. Mr. Ingersoll, is this your
It is, Your Honor.
request? All right, why don't you go ahead and tell me what it is that you want and why you want it?
I would like some makeup time done in June. I came to court with you because I filed a motion to change my parenting time in custody. At that hearing, we established visitation, and I made a trip to Tennessee to see my daughter. I called in the morning. Long story short, she dodged me on one of my days. I drove all the way to Tennessee, and acts like she can just control how the court is dictating our situation. And I uh, I spent a lot of money to go down there, and I got dodged on my time, and I don't think that's cool. And I think that I'd like to give it the court's discretion to somehow make this up to me.
Well, tell me in a little more detail what time you spent with your child and what time specifically was kept from you.
Well, the first day I didn't get to see her at all, and then the second day, we did go to that cool little dance party in the caverns, which was super awesome. I've got I don't know four maybe 5 hours with my daughter, and then it ended in an argument and my daughter's mom saying things in front of our daughter and her other daughter that she definitely should not have been saying in front of children. Um, so she dictated my first day, and we agreed on it. And then I only got a few hours the second day. Like that's we agreed on a time, and I drove all the way to Tennessee. And it takes me 10 hours to get there, and I got 5 hours total.
So what happened on the first day that you didn't have any contact at all with your daughter?
She dodged my calls. They went out to the park and they went out to eat. Because I stopped by the house, well, I drove by anyway, and there wasn't nobody there. I think Cassandra had to go to work, and whoever was with the kids was gonna, I don't, they just decided they weren't gonna let me see my daughter. I had to make a stop, and
Did
there was
Ms.
a
Ingersoll know? Did Ms. Ingersoll know that you were coming that day?
absolutely. I
All
called her
right.
at 7 o'clock in the morning. She answered, said that she'd call me when they get around. I sent her a text a little while later because I had a situation happening. I told her I might need a minute, and I called her as soon as I was done. And she flipped off. We got into a big argument over the phone, text wise, and she didn't let me see my daughter because
So what was the need a minute situation?
I needed to stop at the hospital. My significant other is currently she's 7.5 months right now, and there was a situation where she felt like she should go to the hospital because she's going to be a first time mom, and as a responsible father, I wanted to make sure that I took her to go take care of this thing, and I texted Cassandra and told her, "Hey, this is what I got going on," and like we can get into it if you want. But long story short, she didn't let me see my daughter when I went down there,
Well, if you're not
knowing that I
available to
was
see
down
your
there.
daughter because you're at, I'm sorry, Mr. Ingersoll, but if you're not available to see your daughter because you're at the hospital, how is she going to let you see your daughter?
I was available. I was available.
How's
Look,
that?
I had a pit stop to make. Well, so I called at 7 o'clock in the morning. 3 hours goes by, and I try to call again. I get no answer. I get a text. I say, "Hey, I might need a minute. I had to make a pit stop." Her reasoning wasn't even my pit stop. It was like either way. I mean, I guess you could let her explain it. Um,
Yeah,
if you
can I
really
talk?
I'll give you a chance in a minute, Ms. Ingersoll. Just be patient. I'm talking to Mr.
Okay, thank
Ingersoll.
you. Yes, sir, thank you.
Please continue, Mr. Ingersoll.
so, Your Honor, I drove down to Tennessee. I called super early in the morning. She said, I'll call you when we're ready. I had something come up. I said, hey, I might need a minute. When I was done with that, I said, hey, I tried to call. I stopped by the house. I texted, and she wanted to argue instead of letting me see my daughter. And then
When,
she let me see my daughter the next day.
Buckle up, guys. Today we are going to watch a father walk into court frustrated and determined to be heard. Right from the start, he lays out the core issue. He drove nearly 10 hours to Tennessee expecting to see his daughter, only to be completely denied on the first day. That kind of effort raises the stakes instantly. You can hear the mix of disappointment and anger as he explains getting just a few hours the next day. This isn't just about time, it's about feeling shut out. And already, the judge is preparing to dig deeper into what really happened.
when were you done with your pit stop at the hospital?
Maybe an hour and a half later,
What time of day?
noon, before noon.
Well, I wasn't there, so I can't tell you what day and time it was. You have to tell me.
It was noon, Your Honor.
All right. So you were available from noon forward. What contacts or attempts to contact did you have with Ms. Ingersoll to try to meet with your child?
I tried to call. I knew she was at work, but she had no problem communicating text-wise back with me. I made multiple attempts. I begged her. I pleaded with her. Like I'm any more attempts would have been pathetic. Like I think I tried hard enough. Like, and the problem is she doesn't have control of my life, and she's doing everything she can to control every situation because that's the only control she has left.
All right. Mr. Ingersoll, I'm more interested in times and dates and facts as opposed to opinions about the other party. So if you could help
Okay,
me out by
we had an agreement that I was going to come down on the 30th and the 31st of March. She knew I was coming on the 30th. I called at 7 o'clock in the morning. I tried to call her back. She said they still weren't ready, and I said, hey, I might need a minute. And when I was ready at noon, she dodged me. They went to the park and went out for ice cream or lunch or whatever else it was. But they did that to purposely dodge me, knowing that I was down there because she was mad about it.
again, Mr. Ingersoll, I don't need you to tell me what you think she was doing. I just need to tell me when you missed and what happened from
It
your
was the
side, what you saw and what you heard. So is there anything else that you want to add?
Yes, that I went down to Tennessee and I didn't get to see my daughter on the 30th like we had agreed.
Yeah, I got that. All
Okay,
right.
that's it.
Thank you. Ms. Ingersoll, your side of the story, please.
Okay, so my whole issue is that when we first went through this whole agreement, when we were in court with you a couple months ago, it was agreed upon that his significant other was not to be around the situation until June, when I took my daughter up there to meet her after all of this had gone down. She was not supposed to be down here. She wasn't supposed to be involved in anything. And he did call me at 7 o'clock in the morning. I answered. I said, give us a little bit to get ready. I got my daughter up, ready to go, all of the whole thing. And then I said, all right, we're ready. And he said, okay, I got to go to the hospital. I said, oh, are you okay? And he said, yeah, she's worried about something. So it's real convenient that 10 minutes before he's supposed to come meet up with us, his significant other, who is not supposed to be involved in the situation at all, needs to
Okay,
go to the hospital.
Ms. Ingersoll, hang on, slow down. I said the same thing to Mr. Ingersoll. I don't need the comments about what the other side is or shouldn't be or might be doing. I just need you to tell me times and dates and places. Who did what? I don't need the comments about he's bad or he's this or he's that or his significant other is this or that. So
I'm not
just
trying
tell
to
me.
say that. Okay,
Go
but
ahead.
I'm telling you, sir, that it was agreed upon that his significant other was not to be involved in any of this situation until
Okay, slow down.
June. He
Slow down
chose
for
to
a
bring
second.
his significant other
Slow
down.
down. Hang on just a second.
I did. Okay, I did.
Just you've told me twice now that it was agreed upon that his significant other would not be there. I'm
In
reviewing
court.
Hank, I'm looking at the order, and I don't see anything in the order that says that. Can you point
It
me to
was
something that says that?
it was said on record. It was said on record by you that his significant other was not to be involved. It says in the record, details stated on record. His significant other was not to be down here and not to be involved in any of this process until June. He was supposed to come down here by himself 4 times over the next 4 months to spend time with his daughter, not be worried about his significant other.
Alright, guys, now things take a turn as the father reveals the key detail that might change everything. He admits he had to make a stop at the hospital for his pregnant partner, framing it as a responsible decision. But here's where the tension builds. The judge immediately challenges that logic. If he wasn't available, how could the mother be blamed? You can feel the shift from sympathy to scrutiny. This moment becomes critical because it introduces doubt, and in court, even a small inconsistency can weaken an entire argument.
All right.
So he brought her down here. It caused a problem. He had to remove himself from coming to see his daughter 10 minutes before he was supposed to be here so that he could take his significant other to the hospital for 2 hours. And by the time that 2 hours had passed, yes, me and my daughter had already gone about our day, and I had to be to work in a couple of hours. I didn't know whether or not he was going to show up with his significant other. I didn't, I knew what the agreement was when we agreed upon it, and I didn't want to be involved in that situation. So I gave that day a rest. I said, I can't deal with this today. It's too much for me. I emotionally, mentally, physically, I can't. Like, he has caused me severe PTSD, and he has put me in situations before that I couldn't get out of. And
All right.
it
Ms.
makes me really
Ingersoll,
uncomfortable.
Ms. Ingersoll, again, I don't need the details of why
Okay, I
necessarily.
understand.
I
I'm
just want
just
to
trying
know
to explain
when.
why. Okay, I'm
All
just
right.
trying to explain why it made me uncomfortable that his significant other was down here. That's all I'm saying.
I
It
appreciate.
all intertwines. That's the reason why I didn't meet up with him, because I was worried that she was with him, and it was
All right.
agreed upon that she wasn't to be down here.
What happened the second day that you agreed to allow your daughter to have contact with him?
Nothing. I went and picked him up from the hotel room. We went and did the concert as we were supposed to. Everything went fine that day up until I went to drop him off, and he wanted to bring up what happened the day prior and how I don't have control over his life, blah, blah, blah. I understand that. I don't want control over your life, but you agreed to not have her around until June. So
Okay.
there's no reason for her to be around until then.
So what you're telling me is the second day she was not there.
Correct. Well, she was at the hotel room. He left her at the hotel room.
All right. What prevented you from doing that the first day?
That part, though.
Mr. Ingersoll, I don't need your comments.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Ingersoll, what prevented you on the first day from, once he told you that he was available after noon, from
Because I
picking him
didn't
up?
trust him to not show up with her. I don't trust him. I was having anxiety. Like, I was having a severe panic attack
But you were able
about
to do
him
it on the
showing up
second
with
day.
her.
All right,
What?
but you were able to do it the second day, right?
Because I took a breath, yes, because I let myself relax and I took a breath, and I wasn't going to meet up with him the second day, but I made an agreement in order to prove that he wasn't just going to show up somewhere with her. I said, I will come to the hotel room. You come outside by yourself. I will pick you up. We will drive the hour and a half it takes to get to the concert with our daughter together. And then when the concert's over, I will drive you back to the hotel room. That way I knew he wasn't just going to show up with her. I made a separate agreement outside of the first day's agreement, and we didn't have an agreed upon time the first day. He just called me at 7 o'clock in the morning and was like, all right, you ready to go, bitch? Like,
Don't need the language.
Okay. Not even what I said.
Mr. Ingersoll?
Yeah,
Mr.
I said it
Ingersoll.
was ready. Yes, Your Honor.
Mr.
I did
Ingersoll,
not use that language.
I don't need your comments either. So both of you just need to take a breath and slow down. So here's what we're going to do. The court ordered 2 days in a row weekend daytime visits. Through his own reasoning, he missed the morning of the first day. That's on him. Unfortunately for you, Ms. Ingersoll, it was on you that he missed the afternoon of the first day. So he's entitled to a makeup. You're supposed to have time in June here in Michigan, that there will be 5 consecutive day visits, no overnights, supervised by you or a designee. I'm going to add a half a day, 4 hours to that. So he gets 5.5 now when you're here, when you're here in June for him to have his parenting time. You can either do that or you can give him some additional time on one of the other weekend visits that he's going to have in the state of Tennessee. Which would you rather have, Ms. Ingersoll?
Buckle up, guys, because now the courtroom energy sharpens as the judge starts cutting through the noise. The father leans into emotional claims, begging, pleading, trying everything, but the judge shuts that down fast, demanding facts over feelings. That's a powerful shift, because it forces the case into a more objective light. Then the mother steps in, flipping the narrative by accusing him of breaking a prior agreement about his partner's involvement. Suddenly, what looked like a one-sided complaint turns into a layered conflict, and both sides begin to lose ground.
I don't mind giving him extra time on a day he's down here. We've gone to the zoo since then. We've already had 2 other visits since this whole thing went down, and everything has been fine. And he's hugging me and telling me he misses me
Ms.
and all this other stuff.
Ms. Ingersoll, slow down. I don't need all of the additional information. The question was, do you want to do it in Tennessee or do you want to do it in Michigan? So I assume that you want to do it in Tennessee.
Yes, that would be fine.
Mr. Ingersoll, when would you like to do the additional 4 hours in the state of Tennessee?
I was wondering if we could do it in Michigan. I mean, considering she's the one that violated the day, like, can I ask respectfully why we're giving her the, like, don't you think we should be asking me? I mean, can I get a new mediator? Is there any chance that we could get another mediator? Like, every time I've gone down there, it's a problem. Like, I kind of feel like unintentionally, you and the courts kind of set me up to hang out with my ex-wife, and it's ended in disaster, in arguments. And I think it's slightly inappropriate, some of the things that she brings up and says in front of the children. And I would strongly urge this court to give me an option to have an additional mediator besides just her. Like, it seems like it's pretty closed off, and I just got back from Tennessee, and this situation,
All right.
and by the way, the 5 days in June, that's unsupervised, right? Because that's what it said last time it's supposed to be. Earlier in your motion, you just said supervised by her, and that's not true. Okay, I'm done.
The court order says a 5 consecutive day visit, no overnights, in Michigan, supervised by defendant mother or her designee in June. So that's what we're going to do. The question is, when do we do this makeup 4 hours? Mr. Ingersoll is asking. Hang on, I'm not done. Mr. Ingersoll is asking for that to be done in Michigan. Ms. Ingersoll is asking for it to be done in Tennessee. I agree with Mr. Ingersoll because it was Ms. Ingersoll's actions that prevented him from doing it. We'll do it in Michigan. It will be added 4 extra hours to the time that she is here in Michigan. Your request, Mr. Ingersoll, for someone other than me or some other mediator is denied. I am
No,
the
no, 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 no. I
judge.
don't. I don't.
make decisions.
Your Honor, I don't mean you. I mean somebody to supervise the visits with my daughter. Like,
No, you are the dad. She is the mom. You have
and
to
the
get
mom is doing
along.
a bad job of momming, sir.
Mr. Ingersoll, I don't need your extra comments. You're the dad. She's the mom. The two of you got to grow up and learn how to be adults over your daughter. The two of you, if you can't, it's very obvious to me that the two of you can't talk to each other. That has to change. The
So,
only,
We
Your
do,
Honor, I'm
only
sir.
asking
way.
for
Okay,
a different
hang
No,
on.
mediator.
I have something to say.
mute
Can
them
I say
both.
something, sir?
No,
Oh,
You're unmuted now, sorry, it took 3 of you.
this is the problem. The two of you can't talk to anybody. Period. No, I'm not listening to either of you anymore. That's why I muted you. Grow up, act like adults, become adults for your child. If you don't, you're going to screw her up. We're done today. He's getting 4 hours in Michigan. I'll add it to the court order. Case closed.
All right, guys, this is where everything comes together, and the judge delivers a balanced but firm decision. The mother explains her anxiety and lack of trust, giving context to why she refused the first day, while admitting the second day went smoothly under her control. The judge doesn't fully side with either party. Instead, he holds both accountable. The father gets extra time, but not without acknowledging his own role in missing the morning. And just when you think it's over, his request for a new mediator gets denied, sealing the outcome with a clear message: responsibility goes both ways.